Yeah, we're catching up with Franco. Yeah, we're catching up. Gotta catch it now, Franco. Yeah, catching up with Franco. Yeah, we're catching up with Franco. Yeah, we're catching up. Gotta catch it now.
Catching up with Franco and with Mike Hartigan, special guest Mike Hartigan. Hi, Mike Hartigan.
Hi, how's it going?
Mike Hartigan comes to us from all the way on the other side of the world, the entire side of the world.
And with us,
and with us always is commentator corraller Wayne from up in the Canada way. Hello, Wayne. How are things?
Pretty good. I'm 30% better.
30% better. Oh, cool. All right. Well, as long as it's somewhat better. If it's 0% better, then I was worried.
That was just a tariffs joke.
Oh, okay. I don't get humor sometimes, you know me. But with us, we have cartoonist extraordinaire Mike Hartigan. He's coming to us live from way on the other side of the globe, which is always fascinating to me because you're in why did it just skip out of my head?
No. What are you looking for? Where I am?
Where you live?
Auckland, New Zealand.
New Zealand, right? I couldn't think of I wanted to say the Netherlands, and I'm like, no, that's nowhere near where you
used
are.
To. No, that's where I used to live.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
For a few years. Yeah. I think we met like this after I came back. So, yeah.
That's right.
I was already back in New Zealand. Mm.
Yeah. And we kind of, and Mike is the artist on Chase Speedington and the Dragon's Last Breath that we have coming out from Paper Cuts later this year. I believe it's slated to be in November. So I'm excited to wait a whole 9 months before it comes out.
I've got to draw it. Give me a chance. Come on. Yeah.
So,
but no, it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, we're excited for Chase, and you can check out some of his other projects. He's got a Squish and Squash that he's doing, and that's you got some exciting news about that just yesterday. You put out online, I saw, or was it today?
Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah, we teamed up. So it's a 4-issue comic book series. The 4th issue's late. It's coming soon though. My fault. But we've teamed up with a producer and showrunner to help us develop like a pitch for an animated version. So it's going to go to Kids Screen, which is the big animation industry convention, festival, trade show. I don't know what you call them, which starts on Sunday or Monday, I believe, and goes all next week. So hopefully there'll be a bite and Squish and Squash will be coming to a TV screen near you.
That'd be awesome. You guys were cool and gracious enough to ask me to do a cover for you guys, so I was excited about that. And there it is. He's got it. Let me go.
Boom. See?
Yeah. There you go. There's my cover.
That's Squish and that's Squash. So
there you go.
They are a thing, but the TV show is being pitched a little bit differently than the comic in that it's going to be pitched as, I think they call it a bridge show. So it's not quite preschool, but not quite. It's when they start adding in educational stuff for kids to learn through adventure and stuff, like Blaze and the Monster Machines, or maybe like an older Dora the Explorer, maybe. And they'll go on these galactic adventures, and they'll be tackling climate-related emergencies on all these different planets, and there'll be some sort of lesson the kids can take away from the show. So that's the plan. Cool. So we'll see how it goes.
So when you get big, rich, and famous, and you come do premieres here in the States, when you fly all the way out here, you have to promise me that when you come to New York, you take me out for lunch. That's sure. My one requirement, that you have to take me out for lunch.
Done deal. Done deal. What my hope is that enough people buy Chase Speedington in November out from Paper Cuts that they bring me over for a convention. So start greasing those wheels.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, because it'd be nice to finally meet you in person, because we've talked a whole bunch online, but we've never met face to face. So that'd be cool.
No, It's been a few
Absolutely.
years now. So yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about it when Scoot was on, like, how Ninja Kaiju got picked up so quickly in the wheels,
Mhm.
but Chase, we've been doing this for a number of years before it was
Yeah.
it's set for publication. So uh, you know, uh,
Yeah.
books and publication just never cease to amaze me in the way it works. So
It's glacial.
it is. But we're gonna be doing some drawing. I have no idea what I'm gonna draw, so that's my desk right there, and we got Mike drawing on his computer screen, so we'll keep that large, but we'll pop mine up every once in a while. If
Oh, you
anybody
don't
out
need to
there
keep
has
mine up
any,
large.
oh yeah, we will. It'll be fun. Unless you don't want me to, you tell me to
Okay.
take it down. But if not, we'll have it up there. It'll be fun to watch you draw because I think you're an amazing cartoonist. So I'd rather watch you draw than me anyway. Um, but if
Well, I
anybody out there
appreciate
has,
the compliment.
yeah,
Mm.
man. I've always liked your stuff. That's why I was like, hey, we should do a book together. And actually, it's little known fact that we before Chase Speedington, we were actually working on something else that
Mhm.
was picked up
Very briefly. Mm.
for we started working on this thing and then it was picked up option by someone else and now it's just a non-existent thing.
Yeah, I was going to
So
ask you actually about that, and then I saw you posting stuff. Oh, can I talk about? No, I'm sure I saw you posted online. Otherwise, it wouldn't have come up in my mind. You were doing some Moon Girl stuff, which we were going to work on until I pulled
yeah,
out.
well,
Um,
you were quite busy, so I was doing some of the pages online digitally, which trust me, I got like 2 pages into it and I had to stop because I have all this other stuff to work on too. But I was thinking about doing something with that digitally, just a few pages of it at a time. But you know what? With the way my stuff works out, it'll never happen. So
as soon as I saw your pages, I was regretful. I was like, oh, that was a really cool project. And then I found my old pages when I was going through my old iPad yesterday. Um, so yeah, that would have been a thing too. But
man, anytime
it's
you
been
want to do it, but with Chase and your other projects and everything else, I'm like,
mm,
I'm not going to bother him with this because this this is something these things are going somewhere. Moon Girl, not so much. And honestly, we have to
well,
change the name of it anyway. So it was something that I was doing online. But um, also, I need recommendations because I have no idea what I'm going to draw. Do you know what you're going to draw?
well, since we're talking about it, I might just do some chase. I can't do any pages, obviously, but I could just doodle around, so to
Oh
speak.
yeah, that'd be magical to see you do stuff like
Mm,
that. You know,
it's like
but
plugging our project that's coming out in November from Paper Cuts.
yeah,
Um,
man, that's what it's all
so
about.
yeah, yeah, it's coming out in the US, so I'm hoping it's going to come out over here. Because I need that opportunity to flex to my kids, and be like, "That's my book."
That's right.
Because I've got nothing else to impress them with. So
What are you talking about? You
so I
got
really
Squish and
need it.
Squash.
Yeah, they do like squish and squash, to be fair. Um,
Uh,
well, yeah, but I said to my daughter, like, would it be exciting if my book came out and it ended up in your school library? And she said, no, it'd be embarrassing. So that was not cool.
she
My
speaks truth
flex
to
might not
power.
be so flexy as I think. Um,
Your flex won't be flex;
uh,
it'll be cringy. So you
yeah,
know,
sounds like. I've got two other kids, so that's why I got spears. If one doesn't like it, hopefully one of the others will.
there
So
you
we'll
go.
see. Sorry, I keep bumping my microphone.
No worries.
Um,
Carrie Saunders and D. Brad say hello to everybody.
Oh yeah,
And D. Brad says Squish and Squash has very appealing character designs.
there you
oh,
go.
thank you. We were seeing Franco's versions, but yes, thank you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, you're going to start drawing on here, and people are going to see exactly what we're talking about. And he's a super talented guy. And I saw this stuff, and I'm like, I need to work with this guy. So I reached out to him online, and we've just been talking for years. And then this, like I said, this is the first thing that's coming out now, years later, after failed attempts of different things. But that's what it's all
Do you
about.
want to know something?
Yeah.
Um, I told this on one of my streams, but when you first reached out to me, like way back whenever it was, And I've got my idea of how it all happened, but whether I'm right or wrong, I don't know. But
This is how long ago? We're talking pre-COVID. This was all happening.
yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I remember, so the way I think it all happened was we weren't friends on Facebook or anything because it was Facebook back then, I guess. And but we had a mutual friend, Facebook friend, and me and him did we decided to do some WWE fan art and post each other's work. So I
That's right.
think that, and I did the Undertaker. I think it was Undertaker and Kane and Paul Bearer, and so he shared mine and I shared his, and then suddenly I got a message from you. It was probably the next day or something. So I'm assuming that's how I was found.
Yeah,
Found
I
by you.
remember that. Mm-hmm.
And then when you contacted me, I didn't believe it was actually you for a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What?
because
Like I was
like you,
catfishing you or something?
yeah. Like you and I did. Well, your biggest thing at the time was Tiny Titans, right? I think it was even still going at the time, maybe. And I was a massive fan, like massive fan. And so I was like, yeah, this is not really Franco. Like, get real. And then you're like, oh, let's have a Zoom call. I was like, okay. So we had the Zoom call, got off that going, yeah, I still don't know if I believe it was Franco. And so then I had to listen to your podcast. I was like, oh, the voice is the same. So maybe it was Franco. So maybe I should take this seriously. And yeah, and then we talked and
Wow.
tried to start a few things, and I got there in the end, I guess.
So basically, what you're saying to me is that I should have
Yeah.
asked for your credit card and social security
Yep.
number basically back then, because I could have really done some identity theft. Wow.
Yeah, you probably would have had a better chance back then, like one of those Nigerian prince scam emails.
See that, Wayne? I gotta I gotta plan these things accordingly ahead of time.
Well, we'll work on that
Yep.
for the next stream.
Okay.
Yep. Your next catfish target.
Wow.
Oh
I
no,
didn't
we'll
know
still
that.
go back for you, Mike. We'll just do
Yeah.
it a little differently.
Yeah, we'll pretend to be Art and contact you, and then you won't believe that
Yeah,
it's really
fair
him
enough.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I know what he sounds like now. So
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, because we started to do a lot more of the live streams during COVID. We hadn't really done any live streams till COVID. So yeah, wow, I didn't know all that stuff. That's wild. Yeah, but I do remember that Undertaker piece that you did, and it did catch my eye, and I'm like, whoa, who's this guy? And then I was looking through your feed and looking at all your artwork and everything, and I'm like, oh, this guy's good. I gotta see if he wants to work on something. And
I
lo and
appreciate that.
behold, look at that.
Here we are finally. Almost.
It'll
So
get there.
close. It will.
I don't know what I'm drawing. I don't know what I'm drawing.
Neither
I think
do
I
I.
started something. Started with
That's what I
something.
did too.
So yeah, the Chase Speedington thing has been and it's gone through changes and stuff like that over the years as well, and false starts and stops and unimaginable trials and tribulations for this guy before he even goes on his first adventure.
Before he has his actual trials and tribulations. It's yeah, some of the looking back, like, retrospect, some of the changes we made I now think were not necessary to have got the book over the line. However, they have been changed, and it is what it is. It hasn't hurt the story or anything, but
Right.
there's some things I wish we had kept in its original form, maybe.
Yep.
But
I agree. Yeah.
but
and
again, nothing that hurts the book. So
right. Well, there's always editorial, and there's voices that get
there's
involved.
there's a lot of fingers in the pie, or whatever the saying is, when it comes to this sort of stuff. So
yeah, I think this is Robin. I'm not sure. He looks too bulky to me. And I'm drawing in
That,
pencil, which I almost never do.
that picture you did the other day on your stream, I didn't stay till the end of the stream, I apologize, but I think it was Aquaman. You were talking a lot about his midsection area for quite a while.
Yeah,
uh,
he had a cod.
but-
He had a cod piece. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
But that was a really good drawing. Well, again, I didn't see the finished version, but what I saw in the rough
Well,
stages was very cool.
I could tell you. Look at this. Look at this guy draw, Wayne. Look at him draw.
Mhm.
I could tell you that piece was for something. That actually it's going to be. You'll be able to see tomorrow. You're not going to be able to see that piece tomorrow, but you're going to see what it's for, kind of, tomorrow. I have
Okay.
some news that something's premiering tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, yes?
Yes.
Friday, yeah. So I have.
Well, actually, it is Friday where Mike is, if I'm not mistaken. If I know
You
my
are
time
correct.
zones.
Yes,
Is
you
it?
do. Yeah, it's Friday afternoon. Yeah,
Oh my gosh, you're in the
you can
future.
call me Marty McFly. Yeah,
Yeah, I was going
my
to say.
DeLorean's parked outside.
So the winning lottery numbers are.
Can't do that. I've got a sports almanac I can sell you, but that's about it.
So now, what? You're at what time now? You're at like 1 or 2 in the afternoon there right now.
Yeah, 1 on Friday afternoon.
Wow! Look at that. Datelines and stuff like that. So I think
Yeah.
you're gonna have to wait for Saturday, but the rest of us will find out on Friday tomorrow.
Magically, it'll actually be all at the same time we find out.
Right.
So, because that's how it works. Yeah.
So I have something
But I'm excited.
new. Yeah, I have something new
Mm.
that's going to be not my usual stuff, and I'm a
Mm-hmm.
little nervous and excited for it. But I'll tweet it out everywhere. Facebook it out and tweet it out everywhere tomorrow. But it's something that I've been working on for a little bit and little nervous about it. But so that Aquaman piece was actually for that in a while, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Or not. It doesn't. It probably doesn't make sense, but it is what it is. And I don't like this drawing at all. So we're going to start all over again. We'll just flip over to the back and we'll start all over
I
again.
was thinking of adding Robin into my picture, but now are you not drawing Robin now?
I think I am, and just trying something else maybe. Who knows?
Okay.
These things might possibly never work out, so I had an idea of what I was going to do, and then it just all went to nowhere land, as it were.
It's my whole issue with drawing live is that you have to sort of make it work. It's not like you can edit and take the bad stuff out.
Oh, well then
People are already seeing it.
Yeah, I should stop drawing live then, because I change things all the time.
No.
So now, what was your first? You said you were in the Netherlands. Is that where you grew up?
No, I grew up in New Zealand. I was sent over there for work.
Oh, I see.
Like when I had a day job. So I was actually sent over to Germany to help close down an office for my work and train new people for the office that would open in Amsterdam. Everyone I went over with ended up taking a job and staying, and I was the only one going back. So I said, "Oh, can I have a job too?" And ended up staying over there for, gosh, I think total time in Europe was almost 6 years before I headed back, because my now wife got pregnant and we wanted to do that in New Zealand where our families were, rather than
Right. Okay. So growing up, basically, you were New Zealand. Basically, is where you grew up.
Yes, correct.
And
Yep.
what's the nerd scene there like? Comic book wise, and so how did you find comics, and what made you fall in love with comics there?
Probably started with reruns of Batman 66, or just Batman as it was called, when I was a kid. Especially that intro, the animated intro.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I was all about that. And what were they called? Superpowers, Super Friends, the toys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
the Superpowers
Hmm?
was the toys, but they also had the show.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, it was the toys I'm talking about. Yeah. Super Friends also was obviously on TV. I think then comics, like we didn't have comic shops and stuff back then. So it was more whatever you could get at the bookstore on the shelf with magazines. So it was the odd Batman issue. And because it's all long form storytelling, you're picking up, part 5 of a 7-part story. So you don't, so it's like, oh, it's Batman though. Then I think what got me into it properly was actually trading cards, because I used to collect the Flair Ultra, the Marvel and Spider-Man trading cards, and that got me like right into that stuff. And then when I got into,
because you didn't have comic shops and stuff like that, was that stuff easy to find, or did they have it in like package stores and stuff like that? Easier to find,
the
or how
cards?
Yeah.
The city I lived in at the time had a collectibles shop, and so they had them all in there. So I'd go in there and buy packs, but then they'd also have folders where you could pay more money for the individual cards you needed.
Right.
The exorbitant fees for the chase cards and stuff. Then when I moved back to Auckland and started high school, I met a guy who was into comics, and looking back at his collection, he had some gems in there. First appearance of Rogue, and a few other X-Men #1, the Jim Lee one and stuff. So that got me into comics. Then I went to animation school eventually, and we had a comic shop just down below our school, which was handy. So then I was really into comics.
God, I don't know how well I would have done in school if they had a comic shop in my school. I don't know.
Well, the worst part was because we were right in the city, we had a comic shop within walking distance, and over the road we had an arcade, which had a room in the arcade, so you didn't have to play the proper big cabinet machines all the time. You could go into this other room and you pay I think it was like $1 or $2, and you get like 15 or 20 minutes on or back then, PlayStation 1 or a Nintendo 64 or whatever. And so we'd go down and play, WCW World Tour and all these other video games. So we weren't always back to school on time from lunch. But it was fun. It was fun times. And now my friends, because I dropped out, but a few of my friends stayed on, and now they run their own animation company, and they're doing really well. And they've just launched a new series, and they'll be at Kids Screen as well in San Diego. So they're doing well.
These are your buddies that you went to school with started this animation company?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So I shouldn't have dropped out is probably what I'm getting at, but I did. So whatever. All roads lead.
You'll get there.
What was I trying to say?
Yeah.
There's roads you're supposed to take clearly, and you get to where you're supposed to go. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Einstein did his best work as in the patent clerk office as a patent clerk.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
So, what was it that drew you to artwork in general? Was it the Batman stuff and the comic stuff, or was it something else that kind of got you involved with? Hey, I want to draw, and hey, I'm pretty good at this, and hey, this is what I want to do.
It was probably mainly false parental praise. When you have kids and you're like, oh, that's really good when they draw something, even though it's rubbish. So I think I just took that to heart, and I thought I was actually good, and so I just kept drawing and kept getting praise, and praise was good. So just kept going on, and then it just became habit. I got in trouble at school a lot.
It's good if it starts coming from people other than your parents eventually.
That's right.
So.
Yeah.
So then you got in trouble at school, you said?
Yeah, I got in trouble at school for drawing too much. I think we had a maths teacher in high school when I was 15, and he was one of those short fuse type of guys. And I used to draw in my maths, but I hated maths, and drew in my book a lot. And one day he snapped, picked up my book, showed it to the class. He was like, "This is supposed to be a maths book, not an art gallery." So sort of a compliment, I guess. But got in trouble. Failed art every year in high school though, because I didn't like drawing bowls of fruit and stuff like that. So, but again, I got praise from a substitute art teacher for some comic stuff I was doing, and that wasn't my parents, like you said. So I was like, oh, maybe there's something here. And I really wanted to get out of high school. My mum wouldn't let me get out of high school unless I was going to do some sort of course or further study, or get a job. And a job didn't sound cool. And so there was this animation school, and I applied and somehow got in, and then dropped out, and then actually did go and get jobs. And so for the next 20 years, just sat at my day jobs, being bored and scribbling away in my notebooks and creating characters and stuff. And then eventually the right people found my stuff, and here we are.
Wow. The origin story.
Yeah,
I knew
very boring. Sorry.
I knew it was in there. No, it's I love stuff like that. Because you know, I didn't know where I was going, what I was going to do, and I tried so many other things. You know, my resume is very padded with being a lot of things other than art, but
Mhm.
art always came back to the forefront. You know, that's what I was. You know, my passion was always the art. In terms of I know this is what I want to do. I just don't know how to do it yet.
Mhm.
But
Oh yeah, I had basically given up on ever making art my actual job. I thought that ship had long sailed, but I was wrong. You never know who's watching your stuff,
mm-hmm.
and you never know, what opportunities are coming. So just keep on keeping on, really.
All right. Now I think it's starting to look a little bit more like Robin, a little bit more in terms of Robinish
Love that
things.
very much. Love the collar.
You have so many Robins to choose from.
I know.
Yep. Who's your favorite Robin? There's only one right answer, I think.
Yeah, it's Dick Grayson. Always has been, always will be.
Correct. Although I guess he's Nightwing now.
Yeah, he'll always be Robin.
Then the other question would be, who's your favorite Green Lantern?
And that's always
Hal
Hal
Jordan.
Jordan. Always.
No question.
And then the
No
Flash.
question.
Come on, are we going to
Barry
go through
Allen.
all of it? Barry Allen?
Oh wow! I was hoping. You know what? I was trying to get some discourse going, and it's just.
Can I
not
say
happening.
Grant Gustin? But yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely Barry Allen. And Hal Jordan's not even close in terms of Green Lanterns. Who's the other one the one I really don't like? Is it Kyle Rayner, the one who's an artist?
Yes.
Which ironically is the one I dislike
Yeah.
the most.
Why do you hate him the most? What's up with that?
I don't know. Maybe I just never read the stuff properly, but I don't know.
Right.
I hated the look of him.
Yeah, I always thought his
that
mask
mask
was
was
too
just
bulky. Yeah, right?
yeah, it was dumb. Sorry. No disrespect to the to the people who worked on that book, but no, it wasn't for me.
It's always very generational in who was reading what at the
Yeah.
time and who they like. So, yeah.
D. Brad says Jay Garrick is his Flash.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
See, the good thing is we don't have to ask this question about Superman or Wonder Woman.
We can start a lot of controversy by saying,
Yes.
Henry Cavill or
No. Actually, you can do. Is it Kal-El with an E-L or an L?
EL. Is that even a thing?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, geez. Okay. See, I didn't even know. So it's EL.
Yeah, that's the Silver Age. And with the L
So
is the Golden Age, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh wow. So I never even knew that.
Right. This is where we get to the I'm gonna ruin my piece of artwork stage of the live stream, and it's come much quicker than I thought it would. But let's see. Oh, see, ruined it already. Look at that. I went too far down. We're going to have to pretend that this piece doesn't exist after this show, Wayne.
That's
'Cause,
okay. That's the Neil Adams costume, isn't it?
yeah, that's what I was going for, but I usually draw these things. I draw and draw and draw in pen, and I do a whole bunch of sketches usually, and then I'll take the sketch and I'll one of the sketches that I'll like, and then I'll lightbox that. But today I decided, hey, I never do pencils on here, so let me just go full pencil and see what I come up. But then what tends to happen is I don't like what I've done. like Mike said, then you're stuck with it because that's what you've drawn on here. But but so be it. Let's see what happens, because I'm just gonna go crazy wild on here, and just gonna go.
Ooh, Carrie's made a very good point.
Oh,
When she was younger, she didn't follow Batman, so she didn't care about Robin. She didn't care about Robin. When she finally got really interested in Batman, there were so many Robins and ex-Robins that she hasn't had time to figure out who she likes the most yet.
oh, really? All right. So if we made
Hello?
her pick one, what would happen? Her brain would melt, maybe.
Could be.
A lot of people seem to gravitate towards Tim Drake if they're not going with Dick Grayson.
That's true. There are a lot of Tim Drake fans out there. But again, generational, depending on when you read it or didn't. I grew up with Dick Grayson as Robin all the way through. So he was in the Teen Titans, and Tim Drake didn't come along till much later for me. So I was like, oh, okay. Not that I don't like Tim Drake. I do like him, but I don't know. Dick Grayson was always Robin to me, even though I like Nightwing a lot too. So I'm very conflicted about a lot of things.
Oh, I love Nightwing. Love Nightwing.
Oh, the costume design's amazing.
I was just going to say, I love his whole design and look and everything.
That's one of the few key first appearances I do have. Not Dick Grayson, but Nightwing. The Disco Nightwing that George Perez created in Teen Titans.
Right.
Well, no, that was Dave Cochran. I was going to go, if you're going disco, a lot of the Legion designs were Dave Cochran, and that was a definite disco influence.
Right. Well, weren't a lot of those his designs for Legion stuff eventually became the X-Men stuff?
That's correct.
Right.
Yep.
Huh, look at that! I actually knew something. Yeah, we're not 100% sold on this thing here. Let's see where it goes. Let's see. So then, growing up down in New Zealand, were there a lot of people that were into some of the books and stuff like that, like friends of yours and stuff like that from school, or not that many? Were you guys like a selective few?
Selective few, for sure. Which is what was good about going to animation school, I guess, because more people were into that sort of stuff. So I found some people, but I really didn't find my people till I moved to Europe. Because I lived in the Netherlands, but once or twice a year I'd fly over to England for comic conventions. And so I met people there, and I sort of got a bit of a group that would meet up every time we came over, go out for dinner and talk and stuff. So that was really cool. It's one of the things I missed moving back to New Zealand, actually. So now my community is all online, because being a work from home artist now has meant it's even more siloed, really.
Right.
Because you sit at home by yourself.
Are there any conventions or anything that you go to there in the Netherlands, or and again, see, I'm doing it
in
again.
New Zealand?
In New Zealand, yeah.
there used to there's like one big comic convention. It moves around the country, so it happens in. Actually, I think it just lost one, so I think it's down to 2 or 3 cities now, and it does Auckland twice a year. It used to be a comic focused convention when it first started. Now it's sort of moved more towards gaming and movies and celebrity guests and stuff. So the comics are sort of being pushed out, unfortunately. So there is that one, but I've stopped going because of that. Like, I've got a friend of mine who travels to Australia to do the comic conventions because they do have better ones, and it's usually not that expensive to go over to Australia from here. So I'm going to look at doing that, I think.
Have you
But
been
I
to those
remember
at all?
I haven't been to the Australia ones. My friend goes once a year, so I think I'll tag along with him, maybe starting next year, and maybe even table there when I've got books out. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But
Those are the Supernova cons, right?
the Australia ones are, yeah.
You know what I just realized,
So-
gentlemen, is that I think I have to throw this piece out because I'm very color dyslexic, and I've talked about this with Art before, and I've reversed the colors on Robin's costume because his sleeves are supposed to be green,
Yes.
and not his tunic. His tunic is red, so there, I screwed it up. Although
It's a
there
multiverse.
is a version out there somewhere like this, right? Right,
Oh
Wayne?
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's on
What's
Earth.
the-
I think it's 231.
Ooh, he knows the number. See, this is why Wayne is here.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
What's the Batman, the colorful one with the pink and the Batman of starts with Z.
Oh, Grant Morrison used them.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
The Rainbow Batman.
Yeah. So
I've
there you
drawn
go.
the rainbow
That's
one
just
before.
his Robin. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. So now those are your pencils, and you're
Damn.
downing the opacity to ink over. There you go. Look at that.
Yeah. Yep. That's how I do all my comic pages as well.
Yeah, totally screwed this one up. I'm very color dyslexic. I invert the colors all the time, especially at conventions. If I'm doing sketches for somebody, I will always invert the colors, and I don't know why I do that. It's a thing that happens.
Then it makes it a one of a kind convention sketch, right?
Yeah, or one that I just disregard because I hate this one. So that happens too.
That's one thing I just would be too nervous to do at conventions is commissions, because I just
Yeah,
always feel like
sometimes
it's not going to live up to
right.
what they want.
Sometimes I won't take them, but people like getting something when they're there. It's like a real connection for them. I used to dread it as well, but it's a connection for them. And I've certainly
Mhm.
gotten better about them over the years. But it's like they ask for it, they see you doing it, and then it's ownership because hey, this one's mine type thing,
Oh yeah, I totally get that. I just feel like it'd be a big letdown once they get it from me.
Nah.
So it's quite nerve-wracking, especially when they ask for really random stuff. Because I have had that when I did some UK ones.
Should I be so bold as to try and ruin another piece of paper by just going straight to colors? Let's do that. Let's see what happens.
Fortune favors the bold.
Mm-hmm.
Or the brave and the bold, which is not what I'm going to be
I
drawing.
was going to say that. I was just going to say that. Done.
And channel your inner Aquaman from Brave and the Bold.
That's outrageous. I love that version of Aquaman.
Oh, from the cartoon?
Yeah.
So good. I used to have a podcast back in the day, probably during COVID actually, and we had James Tucker on, who was the showrunner of that Brave
Oh,
and the
wow.
Bold cartoon. Awesome guy. But yeah, it was so good talking about that cartoon.
Well, that's a lot of fun.
I think that show is one that got respect after the fact more than it had at the time it was out.
It was during that show that I got to meet Dietrich Bader, because then
Oh,
he
nice.
was doing the voice. He wound up doing the voice of Ace the Bat Hound in our Cartoon Network bumpers.
Hmm.
So it was kind of cool to meet him. And look, Wayne, I ruined another piece of paper.
And Artie from Oh Yeah Comics says, "Hey."
Well, I know that guy.
I've heard of him.
I'm gonna go in for a red tunic right away. Red tunic, right there. Well, this is horrible, horrible, horrible.
Okay, I found the image. The Batman of Zur-En-Arr.
Yep, that's what it was.
Very coolness. So he was what color? He's a pink guy? Or
He's
multicolored?
multicolored.
Oh.
Mm.
I know I remember the original was back in Detective in the 40s, 50s, but then Grant Morrison did a thing with him when Bruce went all squirrely.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that guy deep dives, man.
Oh,
He goes way back into stuff, right?
yeah. Morrison's like Mark Waid. Mark Waid knows everything and can tell, and then Grant just puts everything in a blender
That's a good way to describe it. Yeah.
and comes up with something. And you don't know where he got it from, but you know it's not just something he pulled. He actually knows the lore. He knows the history of the character.
I would say with Morrison, it's more hit or miss, because sometimes his stuff is real good, and sometimes it's like, what am I reading here? What's happening? You know?
Are you talking about when Superman has to sing?
Well, I wasn't talking about that specifically, but yeah, sure. Man, I hate this piece even more than I hated the last piece. This is what we call what do you call it when I guess fusion jazz or whatever, when you're just making stuff up as you go along. So this is my
I thought that was just jazz.
I think so.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought jazz is just basically unstructured.
Oh, okay. So then this is my jazz piece. This is my Robin jazz piece, which is not. It's not doing well. It's not coming together well. Probably should have thought about this beforehand. So what else? So what are some of your favorite cartoons or comics of all time there, Mike? What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, man, I don't know. Gosh, they're all probably more modern. Well, I would say modern, not modern now, but modern-ish. You know, Batman Hush is always up there. Absolute Superman, going back to who we were just talking about. Cartoons, man, I'm a big 90s cartoon person. Powerpuff Girls especially. You know, Dexter, Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, all those what a cartoon type cartoons. That's the sort of art style and humor I kind of like. That's probably what's what do you say? It's what's seeped into my sensibilities of when I make stuff, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Do you find yourself when you're watching Dexter, you start talking like Dexter?
Yep.
Dee Dee,
I can't speak like
what
Bubbles
you doing?
from Powerpuff Girls, so it's a bit easier. Oh, but I do have a question, Franco.
Oh, yeah.
Based on a post you made, I'm
Uh-oh.
assuming I'm on the right track. But
This is where I'm
that
going to get
teaser
in trouble.
trailer for Fantastic Four,
Yeah.
you watched it, I assume. I assume that's what the post was about.
Yes, it was.
What did you think? Obviously, you liked it.
I did a lot. I saw some of the controversy about the poster that people are saying that it was AI type stuff.
Yeah, Marvel came out and said no.
Yeah, I saw that as well. But I liked it. It looks like it's in a different universe. And then it'll come over into the regular MCU, I assume, just from the way the cars and the technology works. And I talked to Mark Hammond from the store, and he said that someone pulled the screen grab from it, and they had they had something in the background on his chalkboard or workboard where it was like, the multiverse something or whatever, multidimensional thing back there. So I don't want to. I'm one of those guys that doesn't want to know too much about it going in, because I'd like to see it when it comes out. And the fact that within the next few months coming up, we're going to get Captain America next week, and then Superman this summer with Fantastic Four like a week after. Like, I'm just like, that's awesome.
And Thunderbolts, that looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The trailer for that was great.
But I think it looks great. I know people were complaining about Reed and the way he looked. Why didn't he shave his mustache? But I'm like, why are you so nitpicky over that stuff? How come the costumes aren't all the same? I'm thinking, why do they have to be all the same? They're not like a set of quadruplets or anything like that. Why can't they have different costumes? And
because they're a team.
Well, I get that, but
The Avengers are a team and wear the same costume.
Yeah, Wayne. You tell him, Wayne.
No, I saw the Avengers hat, so I thought I tossed that on.
Yeah, no, Justice League's the same.
Yeah.
I thought about that costume thing, not enough to post it online and be a dick about it, but yeah, I think it looks cool. Thing looks awesome. That was really well done. I think they've actually got it this time.
I'd say the thing that bothered me the most, I would say, about the trailer would be the Thing's voice. Because growing up and reading him and knowing that he's made of rocks and that he probably pees rocks and that his insides are all rocks. I don't know if that's true or not, but but I imagine his voice being very gravelly, and the fact that Ben Grimm and the Thing have the same exact voice, that was a little maybe. But again, I'm like, this is a new version of it. I'm not going to nitpick it. I'm going to want to see what it comes out to be. But if anything, if it was my choice is he should have had a different gravelly. He should have had like the Martha voice, or, grating rocks or something like that. I don't know.
I feel like that's something they could add in quite easily. But I agree. But the guy who plays him is really cool. So apart from, I was actually really happy with the casting, except for Pedro Pascal, and not because I have anything against him, just because he's in everything. But I was still holding out hope we'd get John Krasinski again.
Well, you might. You never know. You never know that you might actually get him.
Well, he's dead.
Council of Reed.
Spoiler. Yeah.
What? Wait, he's dead? What the? When did this happen?
When they turn him into spaghetti.
I know.
Again, spoiler.
So when I saw the trailer, I thought the perfect description, I've been describing this to my friends and family. It's the Jetsons meet the 60s.
I love the look of it. I love that old retro look.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what they do with it. But
Franco, Carrie has a question for you.
Yes, please.
So would
Carrie.
you say that the Thing always has kidney stones?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Yes. And I wouldn't wish it on him, because kidney stones suck. I've had them and wound up in the hospital because of them, and they are awful. Don't ever get them, kids. So yes, by that logic, yes, that is truth.
It's one of the things I never liked in the comics, and I think there was recently a comic by I think it was Steve Scrooge, which was Hulk versus Thing, and it's when you beat up the Thing so much that he's bleeding and his bits of his rock have fallen off. I don't really dig that sort of stuff because it takes away from the perception of what he is, right?
Yeah, but you also have to think about it in terms of if he did get beat up so bad that he's bleeding, what would it look like? And,
Well, that's what they depicted in the comic.
Yeah, right.
But then, do you want to see him with, if he's got little bits of, little bits of rock that have come off through the battle, and then you can see muscle or blood or anything, then it sort of feels like it's more of just an exoskeleton type thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Art says that he likes Mike's Robin.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
I love it. It's nice, clean lines. Not like this train wreck right here. Take a look at this train wreck. This is, we don't know what's happening
The
here.
colors are right.
Yeah, this time. But we're hating this piece very much. Very, very much right now. And you know what? That's okay. I'm allowed to not like it. It validates my feelings.
Carrie says, I just bought a starter tablet, so I'm studying all the things that the artists who use them do to pick up the tricks. It's neat to see all the things. Thanks for the explanations as you go along.
Oh, you're welcome. I'd like to see some of your drawings. Yeah.
Probably need to do more of that.
Disliking very, very much.
Is Robin's mask black or is it green?
Okay, so you're just picking on me at this point now. I get it.
No, I'm actually asking a question because
Oh,
sometimes you see
black.
the highlights green.
Yeah. I like to make the highlights blue, but then again, we've discussed about my color dyslexia here, so I wouldn't be the one.
Blue's the most common one.
Oh, which Robin again?
Right, because they're
good point.
different colors, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at Damian Wayne, and his is green.
Yeah, that's I thought one of them was. I like Damian Wayne. I like that Robin.
I have. Usually when I do these pieces, I like to say that I don't know where I lost control. So if you're looking at this piece, you look at it and you're like, where did I lose control? And I have a definitive answer for this one. At the beginning is where I lost control of that one. The very first mark I put down is where I lost control. This is a very I'm a back and forth night for me because I'm abandoning piece and then going back to other pieces. So I've come back to this piece. So let's see. Let's see what happens. We'll go back and forth for a while. And see
So usually when it's a character, when I have a character, I don't draw ever. I'm just going from memory, so I usually get the costume wrong anyway.
Well, that's what happens with me all the time. You know who doesn't have that problem, and I hate him so much for it, is Art Baltazar.
Mm-hmm.
He has almost an encyclopedic knowledge of costumes and characters and what when we're at conventions, he'll look at me, he's like, "What's wrong, sir?" And I'll be like, "Well, I don't know how to draw this guy's costume," and he'll draw it for me so I could draw the sketch. But he'll draw
Nice.
a quick sketch, But yeah, he can remember things off the top of his head like that, and I can never. I have to look them up and stuff.
I'm usually just too lazy to look it up because my drawings are just for me. If I was working on a book, then that'd be different, I guess. But
right. I'm trying to course correct on this one right here, but we'll see how it goes.
I've mixed up multiple Robin costumes, so I'm just going to have to wing it now. Oh, that was silly.
So what's your first creation? What's the first thing that like you drew that like you kept drawing that like, okay, this is my character, you know, from your childhood basically. What did you
Oh,
create, or what did you, or were you like Spider-Man, you know, adopting Spider-Man or something like that?
oh man, I don't know. Like I know when I was younger, I used to try and do stories by playing with my GI Joes and stuff. And then like whatever I was playing, I was like, oh, I should remember that and try and write that down because that was quite cool. But as my own characters, gee, I don't know. I mean, Chase is one of the ones I've stuck with the longest. He's been like 12 or 13 years now since I created that guy. I don't know if I've kept any. There's a couple I've got in reserve in case I need some book ideas later on to try and sell that I need to develop a bit more. But from childhood, I don't think I've carried any all the way through.
Yeah, people ask me that
Which is
too, and I'm
probably
like,
bad.
yeah, I'm always creating stuff, so I can never remember. Like I remember a few things, but not anything solid. Like, oh, this is this character's name. Nothing like that ever, because it's
Mhm.
always created type thing.
Every now and then I go down into the basement or whatever, and I find a box and it's got old drawings and stuff in it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, that's really cool. I should revisit that, and I can draw better now, so maybe I should redraw that and redesign it. Why have I done that? This just looks wrong. So I don't know where I was going with that story. So I've got records of stuff. It's just usually needs to be revisited.
Were you one of those guys, or were your parents the type that would keep all of your stuff, or did they get rid of it, or you got rid of it with time?
I wish I had more than I do. No, my mum was not a hoarder. I feel like she's more of a hoarder now than she was, unfortunately, because I could have probably retired on just my toy collection if it was still around.
Oh, really?
Wouldn't have to be doing this drawing lark, that's for sure. But no, she hasn't got boxes of old drawings and stuff, which is unfortunate because it would be cool to go back and look. I keep a lot of my kids' stuff though, for probably that reason, but also because I genuinely think my kids have a knack for it. I'm not just one of those parents I was talking about, which give you false praise to make you feel good. I actually think they're pretty good. So hopefully at least one of them will follow.
Was that picked up from you, or just in like, did you obviously encourage it, but like, they see you doing it and they're like drawing, oh, we want to draw like Dad does, and
I think my eldest daughter, who's 8, I think she just naturally came to it, and then I sort of tried to foster it by drawing with her a lot. And my other kids probably got it from her because they were seeing her get praise, maybe. So yeah, I think it's a mixture. I think once they understood that my drawing was for a reason, like a book was going to come out of the end of it, they sort of got into it a lot more as well because I was trying to understand how that all happens. But like I said, my eldest daughter said it'd just be embarrassing if one of my books was in her school library. So whatever.
We're not sure. We tried to fix it, but we're not sure.
I think I ruined my Robin.
Oh, I definitely ruined this one. Yeah. Although it's, I don't know.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm missing. No, that's good. That was handy.
I like your Robin. What's wrong with him? It's looking pretty good.
His costume's a bit made up.
That's right. You're allowed to. Again, you're not drawing.
It's not like I'm working for DC on a book or anything.
Yeah.
I do have an idea though. Like, if I know your answer is Spider-Man, because I know you say it all the time. Like, what character would you want to work on, and all of that. But I think if I got the opportunity to ever do like a kids graphic novel, you know how like Marvel do those. I think they're through Scholastic or someone. They do those middle grade graphic novels, and DC has, what was it called? Zoom, I think. I don't know if that's still around.
No, they had it. It's just regular, the kids line stuff now.
Oh, DC Kids or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, like, if you ever got the opportunity, and you can see my art, it's not going to happen anytime soon. What characters would you want to do? So I guess your answer is just Spider-Man all the time.
In terms of that, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just love comic books and characters and stories. I just want to create stories. If you're asking me DC wise, if I'm offered
Well,
a chance
either.
to do something or just anything in general.
Oh, anything in general, one of each. I don't know.
Yeah. I'd have
What's
to
the
go
problem?
back.
Robin
Yes.
doesn't wear gloves. Yellow gloves. Sorry, talking to myself.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah,
for me
Robin
it'd
wears
be
gloves.
like, what's that?
Robin wears gloves, yeah. They're usually green,
Yeah,
the same
yellow.
as
Oh.
the sleeve, yeah.
Are they green? Why do I think they were yellow? No, they are
That's right.
green. Oh man, I'm all over the place.
Good. See, it's spreading. It's not just me.
No. Yeah, that looks better.
Just to give you an idea of robins.
Wow, here we go.
Here we go.
This is where Wing comes in. Oh, look at all those robins. There's a lot of robins.
That's a lot of
That's a lot
robins.
of
That's
robins.
from the 80th anniversary by Andy Kubert and Brad Anderson.
Look at that.
That's
That guy
too many
sucks.
robins.
That guy sucks.
I at a convention one time, I pulled up Jim Lee on a picture. I got to meet him, which was really cool.
Ooh, me too. Yeah, that was cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's a good guy, nice guy.
He was my boss for a long while, but yeah.
I imagine he would have been. Yeah. I questioned one of his pictures, like the art choice he made. You know, he's only like a master of the form. But my friend egged me on because there was a picture he drew that always bugged me. And we're in line, and he was like, "Now's your chance to ask him." I was like, "I'm not going to ask him. That's just silly." And he goes, "When are you ever going to get the chance again?" And I stupidly did ask him. And I said, "Why did you draw this? Because it's wrong how you've drawn it." And so yeah, he gave me the actual answer. And then we went into a panel later that day, and someone asked him the question like, do you ever go back and look at your art, something along the lines of this, and see the mistakes and stuff? And he goes, "Oh yeah, I can tell you the issue number, the panel number, the page number of what I don't like." And then he goes, "In fact, just today, someone came up to me at my table and like told me I'd drawn something wrong or whatever." Then he scanned the audience and pointed me out to everybody. So that was my cool Jim Lee story. He called me a name I can't repeat in good company.
Oh man.
But
that's awesome.
But it was. Who's your favorite person you've met at a comic convention?
Oh geez.
Or not even favorite, like one that was sort of like an idol of sorts, and you got to meet them, and all was good in the world.
Over the years, it's been basically all of them.
Yeah.
You know, I've gotten to meet and talk at length with Neil Adams earlier in my career. I met, Will Eisner. I met Jack Kirby. it wasn't even my career, just at a convention, one of the first conventions I went to, I got to meet Jack Kirby.
That's
Eventually,
crazy.
eventually got to meet a bunch of people, but my favorite, my absolute favorite is always, as an artist, there's just so many cool people in comics. But Jose Luis Garcia Lopez is one of my favorites,
Oh,
art wise, and
yeah.
I've talked to him multiple times. I just love the guy to death, and one of the nicest guys ever too. Um, George Perez was just so kind, so nice, and was very, very, what's the word? Uh, Supportive of what we did with, especially with Tiny Titans and all that.
Hmm.
It was just, so much fun to be able to talk to him. Um, yeah, just, over the years, I've just gotten to meet so many great people and great stories. Darwin Cook was just
Oh,
so nice to us, and such an amazing artist, and a curmudgeon for sure, but he loved the artwork, and again, supportive of the things that we've done or were doing at the time. So yeah, in that regard, I've met very it's hard to say like any really, but I'm not going to say there weren't, but there were one or two people who were like, yeah, okay, I don't need to talk to that guy anymore, type thing.
mm,
But for the most part, they've been really cool. Keith Geffen was just amazing to talk with. Um, just yeah, just comics in general. Like, I think people, they're your people type thing.
mhm.
Mark Wade, getting to sit, with Mark Wade, him being a partner in the store and stuff like that. Um, who'd have ever thought that would happen type thing.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. He's a good guy too. I've met him a couple of times. Um, Actually, one of my favorite things was when I met him in the UK at a convention. It was when he was doing Daredevil, one of the best runs on that character ever. With
Hmm.
I don't think Chris Samney had come on board yet. I think it was still I think it was Paulo Rivera who did the first arc.
Okay.
Um, and he was signing obviously at his table, but he had a braille thing to sign the Daredevil books,
Yeah, a
which was
stamp.
real cool
You
because
had like
it's
a little
yeah,
stamp, right? Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, that was awesome. He's a good dude. Like he's a nice guy to talk to.
Like, I think I've told this story on the pod. I'm sure I have before. But like, one of the first times I ever met Mark Wade, we wound up going out to dinner, and we were talking about, he's a nerd. He's just a big nerd and a big comic fan. And we were talking about some of the stories, and I'm like, we got on the subject of the Justice League, and I said, oh, you know what, one of the best Justice League stories is Tower of Babel, when Batman has all these these plans for how to take down all the heroes and everything, and he's just like, in the middle of this conversation, I just look over and he's just grinning at me, and then I'm looking at him and I'm like, I'm just now realizing that you wrote that story. And he goes, yes, I did. And but it's one of my all-time favorite stories. Um, and it was just so cool. And it was a genuine moment. It's not like one that I had made up. And I'm like, I just forgot that he had written it, you know? But then when I saw
Hmm.
his smile, and I'm like thinking, oh man, this guy wrote that story. So that was a little surreal moment
How
in my life.
how cool is that though? It's, that's awesome.
Philip Buck is happy. Oh yeah, catching up. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Robin.
yeah. And just for the record, Philip and everyone else, I've hated everything I've drawn tonight. So there. We've put it out there. I hate everything I've drawn tonight. And I might switch over to something else entirely. Yep, 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 yep. Look at this. I'm not even going to close up that because I hate it. Abandoned ship. That one's going over in the waste pile. that one too, because I hated both of them.
Maybe it's the character choice.
True. Maybe it's just not working out. Let's see. What do I have pre-drawn? Because that's another thing. La, 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 la. Hate it. Hate it. Got it. Hate it. Hate it. Got it. Got it. Hate it. Ooh, hate that one. Hate that one. Do you have a pile of drawings that you hate as well? Do you have that close by? I mean, not close by, but like somewhere.
I have a Procreate full of unfinished stuff
Right.
that I can't. I should be careful what gets shown on there, actually. But no, there's so many. There's a graveyard of unfinished work. But the funny thing is, sometimes I just am like, oh, I haven't posted something for a while. I'll just post this. It's good enough, but I don't really like it at all. And then it ends up getting the most likes. So you never know.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time too. Like that piece of crap right there just got a whole bunch of likes from people. All right, I'm gonna grab some paper, and I'm gonna draw, sketch. I'm gonna sketch. That's what I'm gonna do.
Well, Philip Buck disagrees. Says it's all looking good to me.
Oh, that's good, but he's wrong. But that's good. That's good.
It's like that false parent praise we were talking about, right? The parents like, oh, your picture's so awesome. You're like, cool. Except in this case, I think he's right.
See, now I'm back in my element with a ballpoint pen.
I wonder if any of my pictures end up in the fridge.
Say that again. I missed it. Sorry.
I don't know what we're talking about now.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said something to me and I missed it.
Parents liking your stuff.
Oh yeah,
I said something about putting pictures on the fridge.
My kids' stuff goes on the fridge. I don't know if my stuff ever went on the fridge.
You should don't sell yourself short. When you're done with this drawing today, put your iPad up on the fridge. That's pretty good.
I should put my own work on my own fridge.
Yeah.
There might be something douchey about that.
Nah, you're good. See, it's all in how I feel comfortable. Like automatically, right away with a ballpoint pen, I'm feeling much more comfortable with the head that I've drawn so far. Silly.
See, that's the beauty of digital. You can change stuff.
Oh, I do all the time, but I grew up drawing, and I've talked about this a lot, with a ballpoint pen, and that's how I'm most comfortable drawing. Although I do like pencil quite a bit, but
I probably used to draw mostly with pen as well, to be honest. We didn't have fancy tablets and stuff back then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we barely had computers back then. Gosh, how old am I?
I barely had paper. It was invented when I was 3 or 4, so luckily.
Just carving in stone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's back in my day.
So now the other two robins I drew I threw them all the way across the room, so they're over there, so they're hard to pick up. But look how much better I like this drawing so far that I've done compared to those other ones.
I like the mask.
So no, see, it's okay, kids. You're allowed to make mistakes. It's okay. He needs more of something happening. I don't know what yet. So what's your typical workday like? You're up and with the kids, or before the kids drawing, or drawing after the kids go to bed, or what's your typical workday?
No, it's getting up and getting them ready for school first and trying to get them out the door. And then I have to ease into it, and I'm a bit lazy. So there's a lot of what TV show am I watching currently? And is there an episode I can watch because I'm trying to procrastinate and then getting into work. And at the moment, it's all just been Chase Speedington pages.
Now, are you?
And then I usually work. Mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead. Are you one of the types that like has like music playing when you're working, or you're more in terms of a TV person while you're working,
Um,
or neither because it's distracting.
probably TV. I've had TV shows on in the background the last couple of days while I've been doing my pages. Just because sometimes it gets a bit too quiet.
Right.
But a lot of time I just work in silence or put a podcast on or something. I used to only be able to work with music, and now I just can't stand doing that. So I
Oh,
don't know what
really?
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always been a TV guy, but mostly because I was a latchkey kid. So my parents were always working, so I would come home from school and just be home and always turn on the TV while I was doing homework or drawing or whatever. And it's just something that stuck
Yep.
with
Same.
me. You know.
Yep. So what have you been watching?
Lately, it's been Doctor Who because I haven't watched the older Doctor Who stuff, and I just realized that I was on Pluto TV, and they have all the classic stuff on there. I don't think they have it in
Mm-hmm.
order, but they have big chunks of miniseries or a series, a
Mm-hmm.
storyline basically. So I'm probably going to go on there after I finish, because right now I'm on the first season of Peter Capaldi as the Doctor.
Oh, yep.
So I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
finish up those. I've been burning through like 1 or 2 episodes a day, because I'm working on this thing again, kid show. But while I'm working on that, I've had the the Doctor Who episodes on, which is bad because I have to look up when something exciting
Mm-hmm.
happens. But um, yeah, I've been doing that, and I love the show Ghost. I just burned through the
Oh, yeah.
UK version, which I liked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the American version too. So there's new episodes every Thursday. So I caught up on them. And what did I just start watching that I thought was going to be something? Oh, it's a new show on Hulu. I don't know if you guys get it. Um, it's called Paradise. It's a brand new show
Yeah,
that
it's
just
on Disney
started.
Plus. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus as well. But I guess it's Hulu exclusive here in the States for now. And then but it's the same thing. But I thought it was going to be something else, and then there's a twist at the end that makes it something totally different. So that and the episodes are really slow, like it's like slow build to whatever they're building to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, even though I've watched 4 episodes, just because it's been on, and it's mostly talking heads, so I don't have to look up
Oh, yeah,
type
that's
thing.
always handy.
And
See, the last
I have
time I watched a show, last time I watched a show that pulled a twist out halfway through the season, and then changed what the show was, it actually really annoyed me because I was really enjoying what the show was, or what we thought it was, and then it made this change, and I was like, that was unnecessary.
was it The
And that
Good
was
Place?
no, I love that show. It was Sugar with Colin Farrell,
Oh, oh.
which I can't remember what streaming service that's on now, but it was like I was watching, going, yeah, this is really cool. This is a great idea for a show, and blah blah blah. And then this twist happens. It's actually quite near the end of the season, I think. And I was like, oh, that's just made the show a whole different thing now, and it's not necessarily something I want. So that wasn't cool. I think it's getting a season 2 though. That Ghosts. I haven't watched the UK one yet because I'm saving it till I'm up to date with the American one. But the main girl in the American one is actually from here,
Right. She was in
iZombie,
iZombie.
iZombie, right? Yeah.
Rose McIver.
Right.
Really nice person.
Oh, I
You've met
bet.
her, Wayne?
Yeah, I've met her. She's a fun person.
You met her in terms of just at a show or Star
Yeah,
Trek
it's
related?
been a couple of different conventions. Very
Yeah,
personable.
I love the Ghost show. The American one is what I saw first, and then I found out there was a UK one, and when I was
Yeah.
all caught up with the American one I've been watching since the beginning. The first episode I thought was like, this is, I guess it's the premise setup or whatever, but then it kind of grew on me. Are you up to date with it? Or are you far behind, or how far are you with it?
Far behind. I think I'm still only halfway through season 2, but that's all right. You can talk about it.
I wasn't going to give anything away. It's just I like season 1 and 2 better than the than the late. I think they're in the 3rd season now, or 4th season. I
I
can't
think
remember.
season 4 just started. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I like the first 3 seasons. Then definitely the first 2 more than I've liked the latter half. But then I found out about the UK one, and I'm like, it was different enough where I'm like, okay, it's good, but I actually almost like it a little bit better.
That's good because you should. Well, I say that, but then look at The Office. I like the American version better. People are going to hate me for saying that. But
I haven't watched The Office. It's one of those shows that just makes me too uncomfortable. Like
yeah,
like
the UK one is very uncomfortable,
right.
on purpose, I guess. But I think the American one is less so. Once they got past season 1 and they started doing their own thing with it, the American one,
Hmm.
it got a lot better. Once they weren't beholden, because the UK ones are only short seasons, so you're eventually going to run out. Back when American TV shows were still 22 episodes a season, before
Right.
streaming cut them all down to 10.
So you're saying I should give it another shot, or not so much?
The American one, yeah, you just got to get. It's like Parks and Rec. The first season is not the best, but then it sort of comes into its.
Yeah,
Um,
Park and Rec I
you know,
liked a lot better though.
yep, that's
Just
just
right,
a great show.
the first season I picked up on it, and I'm like, oh, this is a pretty good show. So I enjoyed it quite muchly.
It
The other one I'm
definitely got better
currently
as it went.
watching, yeah, the other one I'm currently watching that I haven't watched, so I'll watch it in pieces here and there, is Arrested Development, because I'd only seen a couple episodes here and there, so I'm watching it right
Yep.
now.
So it's a show I could never get into. Everyone I knew liked it, and I don't know. It's like Curb Your Enthusiasm. I just couldn't get into it.
Oh, Curb Your Enthusiasm, I have such a dislike for. I
Oh, he's
really
so
cringy.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
cringy.
yeah.
I can't, and that's part of the reason why I didn't like The Office. That
But
that uncomfortable look at the camera, make everybody uncomfortable in the scene type thing, was what The Office was for me, which is why I didn't like it.
that's true. But I think, especially in season 1, because they were basically just copying the scripts from the UK one, and the UK Ricky Gervais, his boss is way harder to like. Like you're not supposed to like him, and he makes him very unlikable. Whereas Steve Carell, after season 1, they sort of mellowed his
Softened him.
character out a bit, and he's more just they softened him. So he is a bit cringy, but he's not like. It's almost like he's trying to do what's right, but in the wrong way. So you can understand where he's coming from. He's just not doing it right. I don't know. So he gets more likable, and by the time Steve Carell leaves the show, you sort of are quite sad.
Oh, here's
So,
a comment for Mike. Punch the timeline. Come for the
oh,
art.
hello.
Stay for the hot takes on TV shows. Hi, Mike.
Yeah.
Oh. Hey, Punch the Timeline, Jared, my mate from Oklahoma. So, speaking of TV shows that he likes, Heels, because you like wrestling, right, Franco?
Like what? What's that?
You like pro wrestling, right?
I do, very much so.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Heels? Heels is a good
Oh,
show.
Heels.
Yeah.
I have not. That was on Stars, right? That's the one. That's the
It
one
wasn't. It's
show.
on Netflix.
Oh, is it on Netflix now? Okay, maybe
It
I
is
will
now.
watch.
Netflix bought it. Yeah. We were hoping that would mean a revival and we'll get another season. But now Stephen Amell's gone off to do Suits, the new Suits.
Right.
So I'm not sure if it'll happen. But Heels is really really good.
I'd have to watch it. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna watch it, but then it was on Stars,
And
so I never.
CM Punk's in it.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I met Steven. He's a cool guy.
What did you think of the Arrow TV show? That's going back a bit now.
I liked it, but then it just got bogged down as being too CW for me. You know, a lot of the
My problem
drama
was
and too many side characters, and you know.
my problem was the crossovers, because you had to watch them in order. Like you could watch the individual shows, but at a certain point you had to catch up on all the other ones. So I sort of gave up. But Arrow was pretty cool.
I was watching those shows and then I gave up. And then they did the crossovers, and I'm like, all right, I'll just watch the crossovers. And then that's what I did.
Could you follow them though?
For the most part, you know.
Hmm. Quite looking forward to Daredevil coming back though.
I still haven't watched I watched the first season of the old show and halfway through the second season, so I haven't watched a lot of that. I'm
Oh,
wondering if I should
that's
watch
great
it.
show
Yeah. Too many episodes, a lot of episodes.
of Daredevil.
Yeah, right? Because they were like 20 something, weren't they? On Netflix?
I think it was
13.
10 per season. I think 13 per season. Yeah,
Oh, how many seasons were there? So that's 20 something.
3.
3.
Yeah, 3 seasons.
Yeah.
A lot of people bag on season 2, but I really liked season 2. Season 3 was just very, very good TV, which made it all the more painful when they cancelled it as soon as that finished.
Well,
And now
I
it's
think
coming back,
season.
sort of.
Sorry. For me,
What were you gonna say,
was season 1, the hallway scene.
oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, of course.
That
That's
is
Classic.
just.
That's what just sold it for me, yeah.
Hmm.
Have you ever seen a movie called Old Boy?
Yep.
Josh Brolin and
Okay.
So there's 2 versions. There's the
Uh,
real version,
that-
and then there's the Josh Brolin
The
one.
American version.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that gives you the idea. Like Old Boy. Yeah, the Carrie agrees with me. The Korean version of Old Boy was amazing.
Hmm.
hey Wayne, are you gonna go out and see or eventually see the Ki Hai Kwan movie, the Valentine's one?
I think I have to, or else Mitch will bar me from a Terrificon.
I know, right?
I think and I don't think he'll accept the fact if I read the wiki.
Oh no.
He'll know, because he'll put something in the wiki that's wrong.
Yeah. I was thinking of maybe going to the $5 movie theater, like on a $5 Tuesday.
Yeah, I was thinking if I was to do it, I was going to do it on a Tuesday.
So I might do that maybe next week or something. But I'm gonna go see Captain America next week.
Well, my plans are to join you guys for Thunderbolts in May.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Oh, come down here?
Yeah, I'm going to come down there.
Oh, wow.
Because I also want to get to this is all inside baseball there, Mike.
Oh, you were good.
Or inside cricket, or inside Australian rules football, or rugby.
Yeah.
gotta be equal, you know, on all that and all the sports jargon. Mine would be hockey,
Yeah.
but I want to check out the Colony Grill, because I keep hearing him and Jerry go on and on about how great the pizza is there.
I'm gonna have to go check it out at some point. So that'd be good if you come down. I'll go with you.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
yeah. So we'd all go. We do the review of the Thunderbolts and get some pizza.
That'd be awesome.
So yeah, I'm planning a New York trip.
When does Thunderbolts release here? Do you know?
I believe that's the first weekend in May.
Oh, so it's the free comic book day weekend.
Yeah, the free comic book day weekend. But Mitch goes to the movie. It'd be either the Wednesday or the Thursday, like when it before
Right.
the big, like. So yeah.
That'd be cool.
So yeah, I'd stay in the city and then just take the train up, like I did when I came to see you at Oh Yeah Comics.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, you know what you
So-
could do is now we're just making plans on the podcast with Mike, but you could you just take the train up to the store and I can pick you up and then we can go or
Yep.
something like that.
Oh, we'll figure this all out. This will be like it'll be one of those yeah podcasts.
I said, yeah, it'll be the next episode where we figure out all the plans and everything.
Yeah, then we have to incorporate how do we get Mike there?
Right, that's gonna be hard. See, this is what I wind up doing with my drawings because I don't know if I like the stance I gave him, so I'll do overlays all the time, but I'm much more comfortable with, and I did this overlay arm, so that you can start to piece together what it looks like, and then I'll probably draw buildings or something. I don't know, or maybe just go color. I wanted to do something all crazy color, which is why I was starting out with color, but that just didn't work. That didn't work for me.
It's
So,
looking
Mike,
good.
you're using Procreate to draw?
Yeah, it's the only thing I use now. So Procreate on the iPad Pro.
No, because there was the question. I believe it was Carrie. I'm just gonna look. Yeah, she said she bought a starter tablet. So, any suggestions or other programs if Procreate is maybe too advanced or it's perfect to start with?
I was using
Procreate's only on.
Go ahead.
Procreate's only on iPad, so if it's not an iPad tablet, then that'll be out, unfortunately. But I think it's pretty easy. I mean, if I picked it up, it can't be that hard to pick up. But otherwise, I think a lot of people use what's it called now? Clip Studio, I think is the name for it now. I think most people have gone away from Photoshop because Adobe became a bit
too uppity for their own good.
Naughty. Yeah, and also with their whole AI scraping terms and conditions, a lot of people left them. So I think Clip Studio is everyone's go-to aside from Procreate, depending on what type of tablet you're using. Clip Studio I haven't used too much, but I've seen some really cool stuff out of that. It seemed like it might have had a bit of a steeper learning curve for me, but Procreate was nice and easy. But yeah, I'm happy to take questions or whatever if people have them. So
yeah, when I first started with the iPad, I had a program called Medibang, MEDIBANG, but then that didn't work with DC when I was drawing a book over there, and they're like, no, you have to use Procreate. We don't accept these files from Medibang, and I'm like, oh. So then I had to learn Procreate, but now that's all I use is Procreate because I'm like, all right, if they're using it, other people are using it, and Paper Cuts and everybody else. So that's basically what I'm using. So
it's good for us that they took on those things because, yeah, I used to use the Cintiq with Photoshop, but I like just having the iPad can,
anywhere.
it's self-contained. You don't have to plug it into anything or anything. Yeah.
Carrie says, I normally use GIMP, but I never had a tablet before, and I use it for different things than sketching. I just learned a lot of tools and layers from it.
Yeah, basically it boils down to whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah. I think I've done all of my comic work so far. Well, definitely starting from when I worked on your book for DC, the Dead Man book. I've done all my comic work on Procreate. So Chase is all done on Procreate. It's just handy. It does everything I need. You can buy extra brushes. You can get a lot of free extra brushes that don't come with the program. So it's pretty user friendly.
Yeah, they're easy
Unlike
to get.
Procreate Dreams, which I wanted to learn, the animation one.
Oh, is that the animation one? Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to learn it, but I just don't have the time to sit there and
Right.
do that.
Yeah, I try and get people that I like to work on projects. So I got Mike to do a story in the Dead Man Spooky Tales book.
So yours will be
And
the
not,
harder signature for me to get.
Yeah.
possibly. Unless Chase does really well and Paper Cuts wants to bring me over to a Comic-Con. Hint, hint.
I got to see which shows I'm set for C2E2, but that's the only one I actually have like set, and Phillipsburg Comic Con. Those are the only two that I have set.
That's quite quiet for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the last couple of years I think I overdid it. You know, I just did a lot, so I'm like I don't know if I'll do as many this year.
Jeez. I think
But
I
also,
maxed out. Sorry, go ahead, Franco.
no, I was just gonna say I've gotten a lot of work this year too in terms of writing stuff and everything. That I'm like, oh, maybe I should just concentrate on that and not travel so much. But yeah, you got maxed out.
I think I maxed out at 10. 12 shows one year.
Yeah,
And I remember doing the month of March. I was at 3 shows in a row.
I think it was at most of those shows that you were at that year too.
There was one show you were not.
Hmm.
Because when I was working in the government, we could do leave with income averaging. So it gets you to take off time. It doesn't affect your pension, but you just get paid less and you can take the time off. I went to Seattle, to London, England, to Orlando. So I would have probably have seen you in Seattle. I think it was that.
Yeah, I haven't done Seattle in a couple of years. The last time I was actually invited to go, I had to wind up canceling, and then I just never re-upped there again. But that's just the way it worked out schedule-wise.
Yeah, I think my next show will be C2E2. I think I might be winding down my shows.
Yeah, it was just last year and the year before I did a lot. Like I went overseas and everything as well. It was just a little too much. Little too much. It caught up with me, and then. But I've also said this before, is I think it was the panic of leaving work, retiring, and then suddenly, oh my God, what am I going to do? Type thing, like work wise, and even though that was the plan to retire so I could do this full time, I was like, oh my God, I panicked a little bit. So this year I think it's just going to be a little bit less in terms of shows. So, but I'm okay with that. I am A-okay. Are you planning to do any shows this year, Mike, or just whatever, just the one in Australia, or?
No, probably nothing because I've got too much work to do. But hopefully next year when I've actually got some books out, I might be able to table somewhere. And it'll probably be Australia, if anywhere, assuming I can even get in.
So there you go, Wayne. That's where you're going to wind up getting them. It's Australia.
Okay. Isn't that like a 24-hour travel day?
Yeah. I've actually been invited there a couple times, and yeah, I turned them down each time, mainly because it was school, but also the fact that you have to be on a plane for so long, and I don't think I could take that. So
I have enough issues getting to San Diego. Oh! Something came across the news wire.
uh-oh.
Straight from our source, Yoko Chips. Bad news, Francis. Orville is coming back.
Oh no. That's awful news. Johnny is happy though.
Yeah,
It's going to be on Disney, I assume, right?
I guess so.
Is that a show that you watched at all? Are you into the Star Trek things, Mike?
The Orville. I watched most of the first season, I think, but then I never sort of picked it up again.
Right, because it sucked, right? I get you.
Yeah, I think it got less funny.
It wasn't funny to
Yeah,
begin
no.
with. That was my issue. They were
Okay,
supposed to, it's funny Trek. It's not.
well, the
And no
problem
one's
with
here to
his stuff
argue
is
that
it's
with
all
me.
just Family Guy.
Mhm.
All of his stuff is just Family Guy. It's yeah,
But
I
it
don't know.
wasn't good Family Guy.
Right.
No, but it's all just the same sort of jokes, right? It's like whatever. But Star Trek, no, I've never been a Trekkie. My mum was a massive Trekkie of the old stuff, the Captain Kirk stuff. I do like Lower Decks, and I did start. What's the most recent one?
Strange
The
New
girl
World.
from no, sorry, the one before that, Discovery.
Discovery.
Was it?
I
Yeah.
hated that one. Oh my gosh.
I watched some of that, but Strange New Worlds, I only watched the first episode, and I was like, "Oh, that was something." Quite slow. I don't know.
Really?
Just never been a Trekkie. I like the movies, the recent movies, which most people probably don't like, with Chris Pine, the Abrams ones. But yeah, no, I'm probably going to get excommunicated from this group of people.
Yeah, I was just going
I
to say
keep
we have
talking about
to go now, don't we, Wayne? We have to like log off
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm just wondering right now.
That's fair enough.
There it is. Look at that drawing. That's awesome.
I know. There's a reason why you wanted him to draw your book.
I'm telling you, man. I spot this stuff and I'm like,
You're a talent scout.
but that's just the thing. Like I came to the realization a few years ago that I have all these ideas that I just jot down. I was just talking to someone about this the other day, and because I'm developing this new project, and he's like, where did this idea come from? You know, and I'm like, well, you know, I told him the exact place it came from. So I don't want to talk about it on air, but I told him the exact place where it came from. But just in general, these ideas come to me all the time, and I just jot them down. You know, now with my iPhone, I just have like a Google Doc where I just, you know, write these things in. But I used to carry around a little, you know, sketchbook or whatever, and I would, you know, or the sketchbook that I had, I would jot these things down all the time in them. And I have to go through and look at them, and I have all these ideas, and I came to the realization that I'm never going to be able to do all these. It's easier to write, you know, some of this stuff, and if I could find artists to do it, that'd be great. And one of the people I approached was Mike here, and we had developed this. We started to develop this thing that got picked up, so we had to stop. So then I said to him, I said, "What do you have? You know, since you were willing to do something of mine, what do you have that we, you know, we can do if you want to do that?" And that was Chase basically. But yeah, I have other ideas that, you know, I'm gonna need to find somebody else to do if I ever want to get them done, because it's just not a thing that's going to happen if I don't, you know.
B Things has just chimed in. Oh yeah, catching up. I just turned on the stream after working on an article about Starfleet uniforms, and I hear people talking about Star Trek.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I didn't talk about it in a good way.
Oh, you haven't seen our streams?
Yeah. And now I'm just doodling because I finished. See, I came up with a Robin drawing that I liked. I'm gonna put it up again to show people what I came up with. No. So it's all piecemeal. I like the body on this one mostly, but then I like the legs on this one, but then I like the arm on this one. So it came out to, that's kind of what it came out to be. That'll come out.
I like that. That's looking good.
Somewhere cityscape, and I'll do nutty colors or stuff on it.
Sort of like the bride from Creature Commandos.
Yeah.
Well, that's another one I need to watch.
I love that show. I loved it. There you go. Is that a finished drawing? Look at you.
Oh wow,
it's finished enough.
Look at you. That's cool beans, man. That's awesome.
Thanks. Mm-hmm.
So where can they find some of your stuff? What are your social medias or website and stuff like that, so we can have people find you if they want to find you?
My website is www.scribblesbymike.com. The social medias are all at Mike Hartigan, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, all of the cool kid ones. I don't know.
I feel like
Um,
every month that goes by, we have to add another social media
Yeah.
on there. Blue Sky and Twitter and yeah.
I had Mastodon for a while, and I had Kara for a while, but it's just too many. But it's all at Mike Hartigan or scribblesbymike.com, and I'm on the YouTube. I think that's at Mike Hartigan as well. So yeah, all fun stuff. So
Awesome. Well, I know you have to run because you have to go pick up your kids from school soon. But I wanted to thank you for coming on and talking to me and scribbling with me. And we want everybody to look out
Thanks.
for Chase Speedington, which comes out in November. But hopefully, there's going to be, from what I understand, there's going to be a cover reveal at some point because I know the cover's done.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I know it's going to happen because the cover's done and I've seen it. It's awesome. So we're excited about the book, and
very.
we urge everybody to pre-order when it goes on pre-order because we'd love to do more. So yeah. But absolutely, and yeah, take a look at this drawing here from him and say thanks to Mike and thanks to everybody out there. Go check out his stuff. He's an amazing artist. Check his stuff out on social media. He puts up fan art stuff all the time, like wrestling and superheroes and stuff like that. So, and gracious with your time. Thank you for coming on with us in the middle of your afternoon.
Oh, thanks for having me. It was really fun. So yeah, awesome. Long overdue.
Yeah, man. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Wayne.
Cool.
We'll talk to you next time. All right. Bye-bye.
Franco, yeah, catching up with Franco. Yeah, we're catching up with Franco. Yeah, we're catching up. Gotta catch it now, Franco. Yeah, catching up with Franco. Yeah, we're catching up with Franco. Yeah, we're catching up. Gotta catch it now.